3D printing. It's something I've just recently picked up. A couple weeks ago, I bought this X12 3D printer. It's by Kitty Tech, Queedy Tech. I don't know how to pronounce that. It is a Chinese company. I was kind of hesitant and about purchasing a 3D printer, and I had browsed the market for several months. Watched the prices go up and down on Amazon. They fluctuate quite a bit. So if you do see a 3D printer that you're interested in, just put it in your shopping cart. Keep an eye on it for a couple weeks, I would suggest, and kind of keep an eye on the price. Unless you know what the MSRP is and you find it at a very good price, then go ahead and buy the printer you want if you know for a fact that you're getting a deal on it. Otherwise, like I said, I would recommend taking your time, monitoring the fluctuations in the prices, and grabbing it at the best deal that you can. The things that I have done with this are pretty cool so far. This model does print ABS or PLA. It does come with a cover for the front of the printer. However, I have not installed that cover because I have been printing in only PLA and not ABS, so you don't really need the cover in there. You don't need the extra insulation of the heat for the PLA. You would need that for ABS. This does have a heated build plate on it, so it will heat up. It's a very simple printer to use. I was a little worried about the initial setup and how to get it up and running successfully without wasting a whole bunch of filament. But it was very, very simple, to tell you the truth. Everything was extremely self-explanatory. What wasn't, you know, recognizable right away or um, basically plug and play, the instructions covered it in detail pretty well. Like I said, it is a Chinese company, so it is written in Chinese English, so there is a little bit of interpretation there needed. But overall, it was a pretty simple process. There was some complaints about this particular model and the loading of the filament, but I found that it was very simple. I don't see what the complaints were about. Who knows? But this does not run on Wi-Fi or USB to your computer. What you have to do is it comes with this little nifty thing, and you put the micro SD up in here, then you plug the USB into your computer, load whatever files you want onto it, slice them, and then load them on here. And then you just take the SD card out and plug it in the side, the right side of the computer over here, which is out of the camera view. But the process all in itself is pretty simple. I've never used any 3D design, CAD software, anything like that before in my entire life. So I found it to be very simple. The only thing is on some of the more advanced models, I did not know how to add in the supports for them at first. But once I figured out how to do that, and that's just a simple setting in the options, says generate supports. Once I found that click box, I clicked that, and then I was printing out 3D models that required support in no time. It is kind of a little bit more of a hassle to clean off those supports, but overall they break off pretty fairly easy, and you shouldn't have any issues if you can follow directions and use common sense on what you're doing. It's a pretty simple forward process. You can scale up and down in that software program that is included with this printer, so you can do all sorts of stuff with it. I did not have to even level the build plate when I got it. I simply took it out of the box, screwed on the side covers of it, plugged it in, put in the filament, and loaded up some files, and I was printing right away. I would say within an hour of me unboxing this, it was printing out my first models. And we can go ahead and take a look at some of the things I have printed off here. So now, as you guys probably are aware, I do a tremendous amount of historical wargaming. That is my main focus. However, I grew up, my first war games were of the sci-fi genre, and that was, of course, just like a lot of you out there probably, the Games Workshop product, the Warhammer 40K, Blood Bowl, Space Hulk, Necromunda, etc., all those old classics. And with the recent release of Kill Team, I have gone ahead and purchased the rule book. And sorry about that. I have gone ahead and purchased the rule book, and I will be playing a little bit of Kill Team here. I don't want to splurge on any Games Workshop products, so I'm using all models that I've previously owned before. Just dug them out of storage. I'm touching them up, getting them all set and good to go. And then we'll play some Kill Team. The thing that I was lacking was terrain, so I printed out a bunch of stuff for Kill Team, and I'll get to that here in just a moment. Another game that I have always been absolutely in love with is the Epic Space Marine, the Epic Armageddon in the 6mm scale. And I broke out a lot of my old stuff that I had when I was a kid. A lot of stuff that's now out of print. Actually, pretty much everything is out of print. You can get some proxies, some decent proxies from some companies around on the internet. Vanguard Miniatures being one of them, Onslaught Miniatures. So there's a lot of options out there to fill in the gaps, whatever you may not be able to get off of eBay or whatever's too expensive or whatever you may not have at home if you do still have your old collections. But I managed to scrounge up enough for some fairly big armies for Epic 40K. And I have some not Thousand Sons. I got Emperor's Children, a nice big army of Emperor's Children. I have Blood Angels, Space Wolves. What do I got? A large Bad Moon Horde, an Imperial Guard, nice Beotan Eldar, and I feel like I'm leaving something out here, but oh well. It's not about that. This video is about 3D printing. So let's take a look at some of the stuff I printed out. Now, some of this is some alien plant life right here that I have down in front of us, and this is going to be a mix for Epic 40K and Kill Team. So we got some little plants here, weird looking alien plants, and as you can see, that's what I was saying. These are the same models, but you can see this one is smaller than the one on the left. I scaled this one down. I printed a couple of them out, so I'll print out several sizes of these just to, give it a variety of, and make it actually look like actual plant life, so everything's not the same. Here's some more weird looking plants, and I'll be using these for Epic 40K as well as Kill Team. And you can see I've done the same thing here. I've printed them out in different sizes to add some variety. We have some other things here, and if obviously these need to be based, primed, and cleaned up, primed, and then painted, which I will get around to. We got some weird looking bubble pools, alien looking bubble pools of different varieties, different sizes. So this will allow me to create some unique alien looking landscapes to have futuristic looking battles on. And if we go over here, you can see I've been printing out some barrels. You can't really see it, but there's the Akia on there, the eagle, the two-headed eagle. Maybe you can see it on the orange barrel a little bit better. Maybe a little bit better, you can see it there. But I printed those out. I printed out some pallets. I haven't glued on the bottom planks on the pallets yet because I want to paint the inside of them. That way there's not gaps in the painting in there between the holes of the pallets. But so these barrels will be stacked on. Let me clear out some of those filament noodles there. These pallets will be stacked, or the barrels will be stacked on the pallets. You can do them all sorts of different ways. Another pallet on there with more barrels. I don't know if it's going to stay, but anyway, you can do stuff like that. I know that looks really messy. Or you can just leave the barrel sitting out, whatever. It will allow you to create a whole lot of different industrial looking terrain types, add in some scatter cover all around. So I'm really excited to get all this stuff painted up, create some really unique looking battlefields. Got some ammunition crates here. These have the skulls on them. Can't really see it on the orange one. See, you can see it better on the white, it looks like. So they look pretty cool. You can stack those up really high or make them look all disorganized, whatever you want to do. Got some more barrels over here. I got some large alien looking mound things to go along with this alien terrain here. I'm going to paint up, make them look all sorts of different alien-like colors, and that will add to the foreign look and unique look of the battlefield here. So you can see the 3D printer does come out pretty good. Let's pop it in the light there. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. So 3D printer does some work, man. It's been working non-stop. I think this is the first time in about 2 weeks that this thing has stopped printing, and that's just because I'm waiting on another roll of filament here that should be here within a day or two. But you can see it does a pretty good job. The detail is very good. There's not a whole lot of uh, excess material where you would think there would be. It's smooth. It doesn't have a lot of the build lines on it, so I do like this printer. It cost me, I think, about $320, not including the extra filament I bought. It does come with one roll, the orange roll it came with it. However, it is not wound or coiled as well as it should be, so it takes a lot of monitoring during printing to keep it running smoothly. The uh, Hatch, shoot, I can't remember the brand name. Hatchbox filament that I bought, the white stuff. This stuff was outstanding. It was just start the print, walk away. It doesn't matter if it was 13-hour long print or whatever. It was coiled perfectly and didn't have any hang-ups in the feed or anything like that, so it worked great. Here's a power generator of some sort that I printed out, and I'll be printing out a couple more of these ventilation shafts and pipes here. And all of these files I got for free off of Thingiverse. I think that's what it is, Thingiverse, and the other one starts with a U or Y, Yugi Print. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, just look up free 3D prints or 3D print 40K, 3D print Epic 40K, whatever, and you'll pop up all sort of stuff. 3D print terrain, whatever. You'll get all sorts of different markings. It's got a big ventilation fan here that I printed out. I'll probably do another one of these here. Have an energy bridge that I still need to print out a couple more pieces for and put it together. And here was just a little piece of grating. It was kind of a test that I did, make a sci-fi grating on the battlefield. You put several of them together, kind of be a grated metal area. Printing out some brick ruins here, as you can see, all sorts of different shapes and sizes here. Each one of them is different. None of them are the same, actually. And then some of my favorite prints are these rock formations. So there's all sorts of different types of rock formations that you can find online to print out, make your battlefield stand out. These will work great for Warhammer 40K or Epic 40K. Either one of them they'll work for. And I'm sure other games, if you play them. Historical war games, even depending on the formation type and where you're playing, where your battles are taking place. Some of these formations might suit your battlefields as well. You can see they range greatly in size and shape, and you can get all sorts of different rock formations. Here's a little mound right here, rock mound. Here's another formation. Here's a Stampa that I started to print out, but I need to scale this down. It's a little bit too big for my taste. So that'll be going along with the Bad Moons. I need to print out some Stampas. Here's something that's fantastic to print out and can save you a lot of money. These storage containers. I print them without the doors, and then I'll print the doors separately and then glue them on the inside of there to give them doors or leave them open, hanging off, whichever one suits my favor at any given time. So this can save you a lot of money. Printing these out, how much would 4 of them cost from Forge World? I don't know. They cost me probably about $3 in PLA, if that, for all 4 of them. So they're a great deal. They look fantastic. The detail on them is sharp, and they stack very well. You can stack them all sorts of different ways, perpendicular, parallel, whatever you want to do. You can leave gaps in between them for kind of little tunnels in the container area. Give yourself a nice industrial area to fight in. So that's good stuff. Over here we have some little structures for my epic battles. So I have the little armory there. I think that's actually from Dawn of War. Looks pretty good. Have some ruins and another ruin right here. Got a storage tank with a little pipe outlet there on the bottom, you can see there, and another storage tank, cylindrical storage tank. We have all sorts of different industrial generators or whatever they may be. An objective dome right there. So you can see they come out very well. Printer works very good, all different sizes. Even the small things like this comes out very detailed. Doesn't skip a beat here. You can see I got a whole bunch of buildings just starting from right, and I'll give you a swoop here on the left. So there we go. These triangle buildings aren't necessarily 40K, but what I'm going to do to make them fit in for Epic is give you kind of a 360 on that really quickly. I printed out, scaled down these eagles, these two-headed eagles right here. They were a lot bigger, but I scaled them down, and I'm going to paint them up, and then I'll be gluing them onto the face of the building right there. That'll give it a nice Warhammer 40K look. Epic battles. I'm really excited. So I do got a couple more roofs to print out for a few of these buildings, and then I'm gonna print out several more of these buildings, of course, fully built, undamaged. But I'm also gonna print out several of them of the different varieties. I'm gonna chop them up, make them look damaged and destroyed, glue in the damaged areas in there on the inside, the interior, whatever. So I'm going to be making destroyed buildings out of these as well, just by cutting them up and gluing the debris and rubble around everywhere. So anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a rant on my 3D printing adventure and how it's going. You can see, let's see, I printed out a Vampire Raider, an Elder Vampire Raider for the Epic. So you can see it does a very good job here.